Hopefully you can hear me and see me. Hi. I just felt called to go live right here, right now in this moment. I have nothing specific I wanted to tap into really. But I was all I know is the devil is a liar. Man, he always be trying to make you be tired and don't want to do stuff. It be pissing me off. And I'm actually I ain't gonna claim that. But you know how you eat your little lunch and stuff, and then it kind of can make you feel, take energy from you as you digesting it, something like that. So that's what I'm fighting through. But I said, no, or even so, you need to press this button if that's what your intuition telling you to do, and just do it, and just do it. So here I am, guys. Hello, whoever you are, if you tap in and stop by. Let me tell y'all something that I'm so proud of, and I just want to share it with y'all, because I'm trying to make it be a thing where it's okay to clap for yourself. Oh my God, I'm so grateful because I decided to use the TikTok Live app. I never tried it before, and so I did it 2 days in a row so far. I got to try to hop on it tonight if I'm not too tired. But it sucks when you be like, you be having your mind on planning on doing something, and then I guess just the mental energy and bandwidth it take as you be in preparation for it and thinking about it and planning for it, it can wear your ass out, where you literally lose the energy and momentum it take to do the thing. But I said, I'm gonna push this button right now. I don't care whether I'm ready or not. Here I come. The devil bad. Hey, and I'm so happy I did this. So I just wanted to hop on here and connect, because I feel like I haven't been on live in a minute. Hold on, let me see if I can get this lower. I haven't been on here YouTube live in quite a while. And I know that's important. Just hop on and connect. Even if I got a small subscriber base, who cares? It's okay to do, Hold on, but I did take some notes. Not meaning like I got something scripted, but it's some stuff that popped in my head. I said, oh, I want to talk about this. So the first thing oh shit, crazy phone. That's another the devil. No, just kidding. I hope it could work. Let me see. What happened was, Mini Jim. No, I don't really eat hamburger helpers like that. Whoever you are. Auntie. Okay. And thank you. And same back to you, Mr. 11. Auntie, may God bless you and your family. Thank you. And I mean, I'm grateful that you even thought to even send that positive juju out, because I feel the same for you. I promise you, in my heart, I want everybody to win. I think the universe is abundant. It's unlimited and limitless, and it's enough for everybody. It's just a matter of if you're willing to self-actualize and tap into your gifts, and let God use you like how he been intending to, and get your ego out the way so he can actually work through you and use you so that his will can be done on earth as it is in heaven. You know what I mean? So I sure thank you for that. And right back at you, because that's the truth. I don't care. Even people that I so-called perceive as somebody whoever betrayed me or anything, I just want everybody to win. And even those people, I want them to heal and evolve up out of that darkness, because it's all a choice at the end of the day. And they say you don't meet people for no reason. You don't go through nothing for no reason. We all here to help. What they say, we all here to help walk each other back home. Meaning walk each other back home to becoming self-realized and self-actualized, remembering who we are at the core, who you really are, before the world gets its hands on your mind. You know what I mean? And so sometimes your greatest teachers be the people who cause you the most pain. They don't know you're a teacher. They're a teacher and helping you along your journey to break your heart to where they break it open, so you ain't got no other choice but to go within. Go within and remember who you are and whose you are, why you're here, what your purpose is, what's the purpose of life, what impact are you supposed to be leaving while you're down here, all that kind of cool stuff. Not to be getting all philosophical. Hey, I just want to say this though. Hi, Leonie, and Mr. Lip. I said hi. Positive energy spreads well too. I think so, because what they say, you get more flies with honey than vinegar. And it don't hurt to be kind. I mean, if you ain't got nothing good to say, shut your mouth for the most part. Although I do feel, oh, this is one thing I wrote down. Something about this man, Charlie something. I didn't watch this footage, but I heard that man got murdered. You know, and I think when you said positive energy spreads well, it does. But I also think people got the right to their opinion, even if it's different. And it should never, even if you don't agree with that opinion, it should never resort to like literally unaliving somebody because this person triggered your ego that bad, triggered your ego to that level of severity to where you wanted to just like take somebody off this planet. That ain't your job. And a lot of times if you get triggered to that level of severity to where you want to do something to hurt somebody, and although I never really subscribed or watched that man's footage, I have heard a few things from time to time. He had his strong opinions and all that, but it never was triggering to the point to where I was like, like, because I realized like everybody's got their own viewpoints, you know what I mean? And everybody's reality and the lens they view life through is based on their childhood experiences, the influences they have, the external adults, and just different interactions and things they watch and consume on TV. All the stuff leading up to that person becoming an adult is what's influencing that person's perception or perspective. And so even if it's totally left from how you feel, that don't mean they don't deserve to live and exist. Maybe one of their callings, while they're one of the things God is using them for is to be triggering, so that, because when somebody trigger you, it's not really about the person, it's supposed to be a signal for you to go within and look at, why is that triggering me? Why is that triggering me so bad? Why do that piss me off? Is there something about me? Is there something I'm believing that's a lie? Maybe it's supposed to make you question yourself. Why am I so triggered? Why is it bothering me like that? Because nothing should really trigger you, because if you evolve enough in your consciousness, you'll realize everybody got their own opinion, and even if you don't agree with it, it might be considered wrong to you, but it's like, well, based on their life experience since they've been down here and the things they've been through and been exposed to, this is where their viewpoint and their angle is coming from, period. Even if they have religious trauma and don't even know that that's why they have the viewpoint that they do, which is another thing I wanted to talk about, but I don't got a whole lot of time. But I was just thinking about that. Like, it never should be it should never ever get somebody so triggered to where you want to like harm your human counterpart. I don't care what religion they subscribe to. I don't care where their opinion is coming from, what their viewpoint is, how much you don't understand it. So what? Mind your business. Focus on yourself. Maybe have an open mind and be curious and try to figure out, well, why is that something that's bothering me so much? And what do I got religious trauma and don't know it? And is that why that's bugging the hell out of me? Like, it's about going within and working on yourself. You know what I mean? Well, how Michael Jackson said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror and stop focusing the energy outward and trying to like take something from somebody else just because they see something different from you. That's the whole idea. Everybody have their own unique individual lens and experience. So it's like, duh, open your mind. You know what I mean? Open your mind and realize that ain't no way that group, time out for that group think shit. Come on now. You know, whatever your perspective is, it's based on what you've been around. You know that about yourself, so you ought to be able to know that about other people, right? Oh, hi, Nicole, One Press. Thank you for even finding me. I just randomly hopped on because the devil was trying to make me not. Because I just had a little lunch. You know, when you eat something, you get tired. And I was like, hell no. Ain't no way. Because I could have easily been like, I'm going to put this off to tomorrow. I don't want to do it right now. I just want to sit here and just get more and more in this sleepy stupor and don't do nothing else productive. Or nothing else that I feel like I really want to do. You know, your logical mind always talk you out of something. Hell no. And so I'm happy I hopped on. And, cause yeah, y'all, and I had this crazy dream earlier today. I put it on my little TikTok. If I had a time, I'm gonna share it with y'all, because I had a chance to kind of just like listen to it again. And I do believe that human consciousness, collective consciousness, is a real entity. It's a real thing. And so I think sometimes dreams are literally just for you and for you personally. But a lot of times I think sometimes I don't mind sharing my little weird dreams, because I think it might be relative. It might be some little weird message in there that might be something somebody else can pull from it, a little nugget that can mean something. But I try to interpret the dream. It was funny. It was actually really funny. So if I had time, I'm gonna play it on this other device, so then I could just pause it and say what I came up with, or what I think that might mean for myself personally, and just in general. There's just a general collective message that might be why that came through in the dream. Because what they say, when you dream something, actually that's something that's coming forward from your subconscious mind that your conscious mind, when you're in your awakened state, is suppressing. So it's always a message. It's a message in it. If you're a person who can think deep enough and go deep enough and peel back that onion to pull it out of it, it's definitely not nothing superficial. And so I was able to get some real funny meanings behind this crazy dream. It's hilarious. But anyway, Miss Nicole, thank you for popping by. Oh my God. Oh no. I don't know what this person talking about. Stick. Yeah, stick. Yeah, you got, what did you say? Stick. That's a projection. You know what I mean? Whenever you say something negative about somebody else, especially publicly, it's actually it's a projection of what your internal critic is. So I hope you take care of that. I don't know if you meant to say something that was kind of slick, but I ain't with it. What? Oh God, yeah, you need some attention. Anyway, snowflakes. This is what I was gonna say though. What I was gonna say, but yeah, I just randomly decided to pop on. I was like, let me go and do this, because the consistency is key. The more you do stuff like this randomly, without sitting there and ruminating and getting ready to be ready, then you just jump into action. Who cares, you know? And that way, you know, whatever you're talking about, wherever you're coming from, is from your most authentic self, typically, when it's sometimes a little more impromptu, and that's cool. Because being a perfectionist and trying to be perfect all the time is a joke anyway. That's some man-made idea and construct that keep people depressed and anxious and frozen in place and not taking action, because they've been programmed and conditioned to think that perfectionism is the truth, and it's not. Practice makes progress. Crunch. So that we debunk that right quick. Number 2, the word of the day. I wanted to share this. The word of the day is side quest. I don't know why that's stuck in my head all day. But side quest. So I don't know. Somebody go, if you need to look it up. I know y'all probably know what it means. It's pretty easy and simple. But that word been sticking in my head. It's a side quest. Maybe that's what this is, a side quest. Because I wasn't really planning on doing this. But it is a side quest from what I was going to do. So that's funny. I don't know. Weird stuff pop in my head like that. But now, yeah, so I touched on it because I took about 4 little bullet points that I wanted to talk about. One of them being that Charlie guy. I just think that's awful. I don't even think that it's cool that whoever tried to blow Trump's head off, that shit is bogus. Like, how can you do that? How could you ever think that being stupid and trying to harm somebody, whether it's verbally, spiritually, psychologically, any old way, how could you think that's okay? It just showed that your head is in the sand and you got some kind of dark entity on you, and it's misguiding your steps in some kind of weird way, and you actually need to check yourself, or you wreck yourself. Because what they say, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Like, whatever you putting out, you're gonna get back. You know what I mean? And so, hey, that's the gist of that part. I just couldn't believe it. That was a young man. That was somebody's child. So I don't know. I guess I just got a huge thing when it comes to like injustices. I don't really care who the race is or whatever. Just don't nobody supposed to be unaliving nobody. I just don't agree with that. I don't care how much you don't agree with the person and what they talking about, the angle they speaking from. That shit is bogus. That's sick. I don't even understand the mindset of that. I just don't. And I don't know him. I don't really know. I didn't ever follow his contact. I don't mean, for all I know, he could have been racist. I don't care. He still deserved to live. Damn, shut up. That's fucked up. So that's just that was the first, believe it or not, that was like the first bullet point I had. I'm like, damn. Like, what is the world coming to? Like, what? Hell no. If you don't agree with something, don't fucking listen. Just like anybody who hop in anybody live feed or any social media platform, if you don't agree with what somebody talking about, get your ass on. Or otherwise, it's like, well, thanks for the view, dummy. Thank you. Like, that's what that's boiling down to, because you've given your energy to that person, period. But if you don't agree with the content or whatever it is, it's like, get the hell on. That just show what you ain't got nothing more valuable to do with your time than to watch something that you don't agree with. That's the stupidest thing I've heard in my life. And I'm just being transparent. Like, no. That just don't make no sense. So that was the first bullet point. My condolences go out to his family. That's fucked up. I just can't stand that. It's the sickest, darkest thing I just don't get it. And at some point, people gotta stop turning the blind eye to this shit and wake up and evolve in your consciousness and realize that truth. Realize that truth. People have the right to their own opinion, even if it's flawed and distorted in whatever way it might be. If they're not putting their hands on nobody and you just getting verbally assassinated for whatever reason because you just literally weren't raised to believe what they believe in, well, don't listen. That's it. And you can save yourself that headache. You can save yourself that triggering and all that. Just don't pay attention to it. Carry on. That's it. The bottom line, But that really bothered me because I don't know if it's because I got a water sign energy in me, but I can feel the suffering. I feel that suffering, that pain. And it's probably because I've been, I'm still healing, through dark places and losses and grief and sadness. I'm still working through that and healing through that personally. So I can just imagine that shit. It take a strong person. It take you to be strong for it to not make you lose your cool when something like that happened to somebody you love. Period. Because that man was loved by people. He was loved by somebody. And we all are, This is why you got to be mindful, man. And get to some place in your life and be with yourself so that you can become emotionally intelligent enough and not be reactive to stupid shit. I just remember growing up being a kid. It was a dude in the neighborhood who actually... he got murdered because it was a conflict that broke out supposedly from somebody stepping on his his shoes in a nightclub. Are you kidding me? And that got flared up so much to where the egos flared up between the two people, and the fucking dude ended up dead. Is that worth it? Life is short already. We only down here, the mission, whatever it is you assigned to do while you're down here. Life is a gift. You down here, you're lucky to be down here. It's a miracle you down here, period. It's so many miracles that go into just the chemical, just all the reactions and hormone, all the things that's necessary to make a sperm fertilize a damn egg. That's a mini miracle in itself. And then you get here and become a healthy human, and then you let something stupid be the reason you leave off the damn earth. Come the fuck on, dude. Grow up and get a hold of your emotions. That crashing out shit, that's lame. Stop. Get a hold of your emotions. Grow up. And stop believing in every thought that fly through your damn head. How about that? You know what I mean? It could tell you to do some stupid stuff that could and at the core of it, it'd be darkness that be controlling you. The shit that be triggering you. It'd be darkness be messing with you too. Although you might disagree and feel somebody talking about something that's dark, if it make you crash out, you being controlled by that same entity because it's taking both of y'all life. So if you do something stupid to harm somebody, so you suffering because your freedom is taken. So it's who wins? Nobody. And the entity that you thought that was on that person that made you do something dumb to commit a crime against somebody is the same entity that is stealing from both parties. It's stealing from both people. It's taking your freedom. It's taking your ability to be able to enjoy your time down here on earth. That shit is dumb. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of that because I don't even want that. It makes me upset to think about it. It's just so immature. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. But I hope and pray that things get better. I do believe, I have hope in humanity, and I have been personally a witness to the fact that more people are waking up and becoming more conscious, younger and younger and younger. I met this young girl I picked up from her job tonight when I was doing Lyft. She was only 19, man. She was so conscious. Oh, she was so awake, and she was so self-actualizing. She was only 19. She was you know them terms like old soul and all of that. Hey, that girl been here before. Oh, and it was just so amazing to be in the presence of somebody. And it ain't about putting her on no pedestal, because I didn't see her as somebody who was superior to me or any of that. But it was just nice, like a kindred soul. You recognize somebody who's similar. Even if, in some ways, that girl could have been even more spiritually involved than me, because the stuff that was coming out of her mouth, she was just so self-aware. I loved it, and I was just bigging her up and just really acknowledging that, because like a lot of times when you are that conscious, people that's closest to you, either they're not awakened to even be able to acknowledge it, or they see the light that's in you before you do, so they can try to do subtle things to undercut your self-confidence and make you question yourself, not trust your intuition, make you think you're not who you are, all that kind of silly stuff, because it's triggering their ego. The light that's in you be triggering the darkness, the unhealed portions of them, when the whole time that was probably what you was in their life for, is to trigger them to make them heal, not to make them attack you and undercut you. And it just be a whole crazy cycle. So I was really trying to be sure I poured into her, because she was just talking to me about how she get drained a lot, because a lot of times, you attract kindred people who you a vibrational energetic match to, but a lot of times also you attract darkness people, just like moths to a flame. People, what they say is not what's on you, it's what's in you. So sometimes you might not have all the glitz and glam and the superficiality and all this superficial shit going for you, but if you got a light that's powerful inside you and you self-actualize, you know who you are. I don't care what car that's fancy that you do or don't got or whatever, people see that. And if they're benevolent, then they'll pour into that just like you pouring into them. But if they're unhealed and they have that notion of ignorance is bliss type of mentality, and they want to stay in that darkness, they'll do whatever they can, and they don't sometimes even be aware that they're doing it, to try to undercut your self-confidence and try to make you confused, almost like a form of spiritual gaslighting or something like that. Confuse you, like, what in the hell, fool? All the time I came into your life, God brought us into close proximity because it was supposed to be something I was supposed to help trigger you, and trigger you into your damn initiation, and not for me to make you be envious of me or something and try to harm me. And that's the other part too. That's why you got to be careful when you real unhealed and living in your ego like that, man. You be doing crazy stuff to people who are actually marked by God, who be here to do on missions and shit, like, and you think you ain't gonna have to pay for that. You have to be careful. You really have to be careful. Be trying to block whatever it is God be trying to have them do down here, all that old weirdo shit. You can't. Like, why would you want to do anything to hurt somebody? Because you don't understand it? Is it because it's like, well, I want you to do good, but not better than me? All that old type of scarcity mentality bullshit like that, that's sick. That's sick. And that's the only thing that would make somebody want to take somebody's life force from them. Trying to block them from becoming what all they were created to be for whatever reason. And that's the sickest shit. That's why be careful. Protect your energy. Be discerning. I'm growing and trying to learn that too. I don't care. Somebody could be a blood relative, but if they dark, they dark. Be able to acknowledge that. Don't be gaslighting yourself like, no, I grew up with them. Hell no. If they toxic, they toxic. If they need to go somewhere and heal, be able to just accept that truth and grieve. Go through the 5 stages of grief and grieve that relationship bond that you thought you had, and you still be in disbelief. Grieve that, and just hope and pray that at some point they'll be delivered and evolve to a level of consciousness and healthiness where maybe y'all can come back around each other. But other than that time don't mean nothing, none of that, because somebody will kill you in their unconscious state if they're living in that toxic, that egoic personality that's just so dark where they don't want to see other people win, all of those weirdo stuff. Nope. But now here the other thing I want to talk about. It was interesting. I saw something about Aniko. What's her name? Aniko, that actor. I mean, that singer. The singer and songwriter. She kind of like. She's beautiful. I mean, I love her music. She's super talented. I don't know what her zodiac sign is, but she puts me in the mind of what an Aquarius would be like. She reminds me of a person like that. Like, But anyway, she was just, somebody had interviewed her in a little short I came across today. And she was just talking about how, like, her music is a representation of the healing and the unlearning she had to do because of her religious trauma. And I wonder if people ever have a chance to be still and think about that, like, religious trauma. That's a real thing. Religious trauma. Because it can have you coming down real hard on yourself, harder than you need to be. When I think God is a benevolent force, so anywhere that I think a religion could be almost like weaponized against you to make you feel like you're not good enough, you're not doing enough, you're not perfect enough. I don't know if that's really something coming through God, and not if it's beating you down. But anyway, she was just talking about her religious trauma, and I was just reflecting on it for myself. Like, I don't think I had like real severe religious trauma, but I know coming up it was confusing because my dad was Muslim and my mom was like Christian, like Baptist or something. And at one point I remember her studying like for with the Jehovah Witnesses. And so the trauma from my angle, it kind of came through just as because I wasn't really clear on like, well, what, I knew about God, but I didn't really understand the relationship part wasn't there because I wasn't really steered of what the heck I'm supposed to be like worshiping or cherishing. It was a little bit confusion there. Well, but I'm grateful that it wasn't like that other type of trauma where it's like you gonna go to hell, you're in hell, everything's about going to hell all the time. Like, I didn't have a lot of talk like that around me, so I'm grateful for that. But religious trauma is real, man, because it can have you, man, it could tear you up where your mindset and how you see yourself, you can feel worthless, like you never living up to something. And God gives you grace. I think God gives you a lot of grace because he knows the moment your spirit is incarnated in a flesh body and you're down here on this earth, it's going to be a duality to your existence at all times, no matter how healed you are, because you always will have that inner conflict at some point along your journey where your logical mind is going against your heart and soul, what your heart and soul knows, it'll be an internal battle. And no matter who you are, how religious you are, what role you got, you can be a bishop. It's like the carnal nature. It's just part of it, I guess. Being a spiritual being, having a human experience. And so I think from that angle, God gives you grace. And some of the mistakes we be making, we be hard as fuck on ourselves. But it's like he knew we were gonna do it before we did it. Damn. It ain't like letting you off the hook kind of thing, I don't think. But it's just like he knows it. Jesus walked the earth. He knows it. Jesus had a chance to have the human experience. So it's like, yeah, it's a duality. You got your carnal nature always going up against what your higher self knows. And I guess the goal is to be able to get to a point where you can hear your higher self. Hear your higher self and follow that gut feeling. Follow your heart more in some cases. Be able to hear it. But, whether you go left or right, you can hear your higher self, because sometimes your higher self, your intuition, your ability to be discerning can be so muted down and smushed down that all you be making decisions with is the logical egoic personality, and that's not really divine. I mean, it helps you navigate your earthly experience a little bit, but those are man-made worldly ideas that's been programmed and conditioned into your mind, and nothing with that part of your personality is coming from anything that's like inner knowing, a divine, like an inner knowing, things that you just would know, your intuition, this kind of discern, that ain't coming from there when you're a person who live in your head all the time. Because everything that you thinking all the time is coming from something that somebody implanted in your mind, in your psychology, or through some past experience that was from down here. It don't be a whole lot of divinity wrapped up in people who be in their mind, in their head all the time. It's not. It's not. Because that's where the ego at. That's what make you be jealous of folks and all kind of stuff. That ain't jealousy and divinity. Being jealous of somebody, that's not no form of divinity. That's a worldly experience. That's a worldly thought process and perspective. To be jealous, envious, any of that kind of weird stuff. And that's why it's so important to be able to connect with your heart, man. So you can be divinely guided more so than always in your logical mind making decisions. Because the logical mind be wrapped up. My daddy would say this, it'd be enshrouded in fear-based thinking, scarcity mindset, poverty consciousness. Thinking that if you're unhealed, you think that everybody's a dog. And if you ain't healed and you can't clear it and reconcile shit in your mind, and you can't connect to your heart, it'd be blocked off. So you thinking everybody is sinister and cynic. You have a hard time trusting anybody because at the core, you really don't even trust yourself. Because you making decisions off of logical shit all the time. And that ain't got nothing to do with divinity anyway. So that ain't nothing divine. You're not being divinely guided the right way. So then you learn a lot of lessons. And it's just crazy. But overall, I enjoy the journey. It's fun. Because when you learn a lot, you learn a lot. Even though you got to go through shit to learn, you know what I mean? At the core. But anyway, yeah, it was just something that popped in my head that I wanted to just share and ramble on about religious trauma. That's why it's so important to be still and sit with your own thoughts and shit. And just to be sure, some of the ways you think, and some of your habits, some of your perspectives, the way you see reality, your worldview and self-perception, the way you go about dating, the choices you make, and being sure that they come in from a divine place, being sure that you ain't making decisions off of some old toxicity that your family then indoctrinated you in terms of a way of thinking. That's why they say question your thoughts and your beliefs. It's important to do that. You got to be willing to do that. I know my dad, I remember him saying at some point, and I don't know, he was smart, but he had like a lower education. I don't think he went on to college and stuff, but so he was from the South. So at some point along his self-actualization journey, I remember him saying, you know, I ain't gonna go and swim all out there in the ocean. He said that to me. And I was like, dang, because I know at some point he just realized he was at his capacity of how far down what do you call it, rabbit hole that he could go in terms of just questioning his reality, his thoughts and beliefs and all that stuff. He knew he had met his match. He was maxed out, probably just based on, just historically where he was from and how far he was able to be educated anyway. At some point it just got a little too complex, but thankfully he was able to just say that to me, but I didn't really internalize that because I know that would have hindered and inhibited my ability to be a deeper thinker, because I would have always had that in the back of my head. You know how they say a parent's voice becomes a child's inner critic, and it would have made me somebody who, even if I had something I was skeptical about, I would have never been courageous enough to want to just like go deeper, ask more questions, be a seeker at the core. That's what I mean. It would have put the kibosh on me wanting to be a seeker, and that's okay. But that's why it's just important to question your shit. Question your thoughts and beliefs, so you ain't running around believing something stupid or thinking something stupid and you be as wrong as two left shoes and don't know it, or you be having blinders on, don't know it. And ain't nobody gonna know everything. It ain't even about that, but it's just about being as clear as you possibly can. That's important. And don't be holding on. Well, yeah, because you're supposed to be evolving. That's what we're supposed to be doing, evolving. We ain't supposed to be thinking the same way we thought last year. Not really. You're supposed to be evolving in the way you be thinking and carrying forward certain ways of toxicity and ways of showing up and interacting with people, all based on the notion of that's just the way I am. That ain't gonna cut it. You can literally transform yourself into a whole new person. And I'm not necessarily talking about externally, but that too. But when it comes to like evolving in your consciousness and really just having a whole new perspective and outlook on life and seeing yourself differently and more clearly, and remembering who you are before the world got its hands on you in terms of polluting your mind with certain stupid thoughts and ideas and perspectives that's not serving you, getting back to that core essence of that person, of who you are, that's important to try to get back there. So then if you unlearn, and then as you start to remember or reprogram or put stuff back into your mental space, at least you know it's benevolent, it's on the up and up. It ain't something that you was taught or some kind of idea that you've processed and come to the conclusion about it, but it's coming from such an unhealed spot because you were so wounded. You didn't know how to heal it or reconcile it or release it, or what the lesson was behind the experience or any of that. All you did was look at it like, okay, and it create this, you become jaded or something. Like, no. We ain't supposed to be holding on to that, because you hold on to that stuff and it start jamming up the lines of the blessings that you're supposed to be down here getting, maybe. That's why they say you got to be able to forgive. You ain't got to forget now. I think that's foolish, but just be able to forgive and know that everybody's operating from the level of consciousness that they're at. That they're doing the best they can from where they're at. Even if they do stupid stuff to you, you got to be able to forgive that and just know they did the best they could. Although I do think sometimes when people be on demon time, they aware of it, but sometimes they don't even be knowing why they doing what they doing. They don't know that it's coming from some deeply rooted subconscious spot, and that's why they always hating or critical or criticizing, whatever it might be, or trying to block you up, or trying to undercut your self-confidence, or why they're projecting their fears onto you. They don't know why they're doing it. They don't necessarily know why they're doing it. But that's why it's important for you to be clear of it, so then you won't be running around accumulating people that you can't forgive, having this huge list of accumulated people where you harboring resentment towards and all of that, because at the end of the day, that's baggage that takes you out. It don't take them out, because it keeps you ruminating in the past about those negative experiences, and every thought you think is spewing out some type of chemical hormone that's either going to be something that's going to keep you healthy, or it's either tearing down your body, and it eventually manifests in something that'll get you all physically ill, and then you gone. So it's important to process them traumas, process that toxicity, all them past experiences. What was I supposed to get out of that? That's it. What was I trying to teach me? So you can forgive the person and the experience and just take the nugget of wisdom and then let it go. Otherwise, it'll be to your demise, not the person that you're still mad at. You can't do it. You gotta let it go. Anyway, not that that's talking about religious trauma. It ain't. But hey, whatever comes up comes out. And God knows my heart. He knows my heart. Let me see. And what else I was doing? Yeah, I'll probably come back and talk to you about this dream. But I love y'all, and I just think the truth is the light. At least my truth, even if you don't agree with it. I appreciate you for stopping by. Thanks for the view. Thanks for your opinion, you know. Because I get it. Let me see. What else I said? What did I say? I can't read my own writing. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let me see. Was I on here? I think I passed my time. I was supposed to be on here 30 minutes, y'all. But anyway, I just hope that first of all, I'm grateful that God gave me the energy and strength to go ahead and do this and follow through. Hey, because when you don't keep your promises to yourself, what they say sometimes, Joyce Myers talk about this. She said sometimes you gotta do what it is you know you're supposed to do, even if you don't feel like it. And so that's kind of nice, because I'm like, oh, I kept the promise to myself. Whether or not anything I said resonated with anybody, it don't matter. It's like keeping a promise to yourself. That's what it's about. And creating muscle memory of doing something that you don't typically do a lot. So then the more you do it, the more regular, just like somebody who don't work out a lot, the more, and then you kind of get on this routine where you kind of trying to do, I don't know, walk for 30 minutes. And the next thing you know, 30 days go by, you walk for 30 minutes, you get to a point where you can't not do it. And so that's what it's about, consistency, you gotta imagine. So I'm just trying to be consistent. So whoever you are, thanks for popping in and stopping by. And yeah, I love y'all. And in my heart, I want us all to win. And that's why I do try to really share as I learn. I think that's a big deal. Share as you learn. It ain't about you gonna gatekeep for. Don't you want anybody gatekeeping from you? So anything I kind of come across and learn or realize, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let somebody know, you know. And the ears that's ready for it, hopefully they'll chop it, or they'll stop in and they'll hear it and can pick up what I'm putting down. And if it's something that disturb you, that I might ever say, which my intentions is never to bother anybody, but it ain't about being a people pleaser. It's about just saying what's on my heart. But if you don't agree with it, it's like, just click off. That's all you gotta do. Well, I want to advise that to anybody. If somebody is saying is actually that triggering, and it's almost like a form of rage baiting, it's kind of fueling and firing you up. Why? Don't be sitting and watching that stuff, because that's toxic to you. So don't do that. Because what's the point? To let it inflame you and get you so heated to where you become some keyboard warrior? You got more important stuff to do with your time. So don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. And secondly, I know for sure, or thirdly, that ain't no calling and no purpose. Ain't nobody, God wouldn't send nobody down here on this earth to literally let their calling be to be a keyboard warrior and just like blurting out offensive things to whoever they come across that they don't agree with. No, you're not walking in your calling. And that's a sign you probably need to go and do some self-reflection and introspection and heal. Because that's a waste of your divine time and energy. If you alive on this earth, you got a purpose or calling. There's some reason you're down here. So figure out what that is. But it ain't to be no keyboard warrior and splurring out dumb stuff. So just keep that in mind. Figure out what it is. If you alive, I don't care how bad your life is, you down here for a reason. So it's about figuring out what that is so you can be about God's business. So I guess that's all for now. That's all for now. And I'll maybe come back. But yeah. Take it easy, y'all. Be easy. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And be mindful. Watch your thoughts. Don't believe every thought that flies through your head, because at the end of the day, you're not your thoughts. So just remember that. Okay, I love y'all. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. Let me try to figure out if I remember how to end this. Let's see. I don't know. Is this it? No, that's not the right button. Oh, here it is. Okay, bye guys. See you later. Have a good night, good day, good evening, wherever you are. Okay, bye.